Here we are. Hey, guess what, Jennifer? Here we go. I don't know if you caught
Eric.
on to that, but we are going now. It says, here we go. So, hey, I'm super happy to be here with you. Jennifer,
I
how
did
are
say
you?
that a few times.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it says it repeatedly. I say it makes me want to, and my kids don't want me to do that. So there we are. So, hey, if you're watching, welcome to Containers from the Couch. You might be saying to yourself, "Oh my gosh, they've let him on twice." Yes, they have. I just did a session on Friday, and we're doing a session today, kind of bookending the weekend, right? As we're ramping up for reInvent. It is pre-invent season, and today's kind of a doozy. This is a really cool one that we're going to be talking about. So I want to introduce my friend here. Jennifer, tell them who you are, what you do, and why pineapple should not be on pizza.
What?
So yeah, you can just do the other two if you want. So
Okay. My name is Jennifer Lynn. I'm a principal product manager on Amazon ECS. I do agree, pineapple should not be on pizza.
there it
My
is.
husband really likes
Show
them
over.
on pizza. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I'm not
What do you
into
do?
it. I'm not into it. I'm
What do you do?
sorry.
Love overcomes most.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I specifically on ECS, I work on developer experience. So this
Mhm.
feature is something that I've been working on for a bit.
So
Really
I'm a
excited to show it and announce it.
Yeah, and I told you I don't really know much about this feature because I've
Yep.
been doing some other things. But I do want to take a moment and say about Jennifer. Jennifer's been a big help to me. Jennifer, as you know, I kind of was thrown, head first into the ECS world about a year ago or so, and so we did some stuff at reInvent last year, and so I'm learning slowly. But she's been helpful, especially in your role as DX. I love that. So today we're going to be talking about something that literally just came out Friday, right?
Friday. Yeah.
Okay. All righty. So give us the elevator pitch. We're going to climb more into it, but what is it?
Yeah. So ECS Express mode is what we're talking about today. It is a really simple way to launch containers on ECS. And you may be saying, ECS is already pretty simple.
It is, yeah.
Do I need a simpler way?
Well,
And I think yes, because I think
okay.
that, today that there's a couple things that you need to do in order to kind of piece together the working
Yeah.
pieces to make an application. It's not just ECS. Within ECS, you've got your cluster and your service and your task definition.
Networking.
Your service and your task definition alone have quite a
Yeah.
few parameters that if you have never looked at all of that stuff before, like
Yeah.
there's a lot to go through there and understand like what are you going to choose in terms of like what's going to be best for your service. And then networking, yes, like what
Yeah.
networking are you going to use? Are you going to attach a load balancer or API gateway or VPC lattice or nothing? Like what do
Yeah.
you need? And then auto scaling, you need to figure that out. What kind of a policy are you going to attach? All of these things are things you have to go and do outside of ECS. Do you need a domain? Do you need Route 53? Do you need a certificate in ACM? You need to go set up your VPCs, your subnets, your security
I'm
groups.
overwhelmed already. Just
Like
listening
there's
to
just a
yeah.
lot of
It
things.
is. You're right. You're right. I
Um,
remember, yeah, and remember, we're talking to a serverless guy, right? When Lambda functions came out, and it's really funny. Most of my world is proof of concepts, things like that. It's like, look, if it has a VPC, I ignore it. I don't have to build it. And so when I started getting into ECS, I had to wrap my head. Now, I come from a background in solutions architect, so I do have networking experience. And nobody's like, oh my gosh, get Eric. There's no mercy like that for networking, but I do understand it. But when I kind of had to wrap my head around it again with ECS, so I'm really excited to know that we are kind of abstracting that out and making that easier. So why don't we jump in and you have
yeah,
some stuff to show us. I'm going to bring your screen up. You ready?
yeah, let's do
All
it.
right. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick here. If I can, there we go. Find the right button. All right. Oh, that looks good. We can see everything. So,
Well,
okay.
yeah, we're considering this kind of like the new front door for ECS. It's going to be the very first thing you see up here in the
Nice.
navigation. It'll help you kind of get navigated of to like, when you want to put a container in ECS, here's kind of a baseline of all the things that you might want to know about and how they all kind of fit together. So let's set up your app, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can browse ECR. I've got my repository here. I'm gonna pick this one. Here's my image. You can also do a third party repository if you've got your Docker Hub or something. Okay,
Okay.
Eric, this is my favorite part. Do you like
Okay. So, all right. So what's that?
do you like IAM roles?
Okay. Come on. Nobody like. So when you say something like that, it's like, do you love Coors?
I
Is
just gave
Coors the
you.
best in browser? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've been. Yes, I love. Yes, I love. I am. And I love that you
I
said
love all
I
the
am and not
controls
I
that they gave
am.
me. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. We put this thing in the console specifically that helps you like just attach the manage policies automatically. You don't even have to click out to the IAM console to go create them. It
Okay.
just automatically creates them and attaches them to the service.
All right, but I have to ask the question because I've seen other people try this, not necessarily inside AWS because we have this rule, but least privileged.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so
Okay.
much
Okay. That was a
scrutiny that
test,
goes
Jennifer.
in.
Yeah.
A to the managed policy itself,
Yeah.
like our AppSec engineers are like going through every single line of that thing. And then to just getting this added to the console, there's a whole other level of scrutiny. So like, yes,
Good.
the absolute least privilege of what we need in order to do this thing. So the task execution role is what we need in order. This is standard in ECS. This is what we need for the task to be able to grab that container image. Infrastructure role is new for Express services specifically. So you can see this is like for Express services. This is what we're using to create all of these other things that we're about
Okay.
to see.
Very
Um,
cool.
so there's also additional configurations down here. I may come back to that later. Let's just see.
Okay.
Let's just see
All
what
right.
this does
We'll see what
first.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, so we're creating all these things. This is the first thing we're
I
going to
fe-
do.
I notice. I feel like my dad. If you watch me when I'm looking at things, if I want to see, of an invalid print. Did you know that was coming?
No.
Okay. All right. Those are always the funnest. Yeah. If you watch me
Live
when I'm
demo.
looking at, yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's what we do. When I look at things, I have to look through the bottom of my glasses, so I feel like my dad reading my screen here. So, all right. Sorry, there's no point to that, but it's a little filler while we're fixing
There you
your
go.
your ears.
Real
All right.
live
So what's
demo.
happening at
That's
the
what you
moment?
need. All right. So we're in an ECS service, right?
Okay.
New thing up here, application
Okay.
itself that gets automatically provisioned for you. And
Oh my
it's
gosh, look at
really
this.
cool of you
Okay. Yeah.
where you get to see not only your cluster, which we choose a default cluster for you, which is a default thing that appears in ECS. We write your task definition for you. And we provision all these other things for you. Your load balancer already provisioned. We create listener rules, target groups, attach those to the service, scaling policy, scaling target, and now your deployment's in progress. And we're just going to
All
town,
right.
trying to get
So
that spun up for you.
so while that's going, we've got some questions coming in. First of all,
Oh,
thank
amazing.
you and welcome, and tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to hear, from where in the world you are. But Mohammed has asked the question: any similarities with Elastic Beanstalk concept for resources with Express mode?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of similarity in that, like, we are putting those resources in your account. I think one big difference for me is that we are not using CloudFormation. We're actually using ECS as the orchestration here. ECS is a container orchestrator.
Yeah.
And so we're using kind of like our backend systems, our scheduler and our deployments mechanisms and our, all the things that we're using in order to orchestrate your containers in order to keep track of your attachments now as well. So those attachments being things like the listener rule to your load balancer and the load balancer itself and the
Interesting.
certificates
Okay.
and so by doing that, there's a couple of other cool things that we're going to be able to do that you'll see in a minute.
So
And the other cool thing is we're not necessarily keeping state the same way
okay.
that you would be in like a CloudFormation template. Um,
Okay.
some more to talk about there. Yeah.
Okay. So that's really interesting because one of the questions I was going to ask is it pulling cloud formation for this information? Well, obviously it's not, since we're not using
Not.
cloud formation, we're using the API directly, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, very interesting. So smacks of Terraform a little bit and just popping that in there. And that's really interesting. First of all, thank you, Mohammed. He's coming in from Somalia. Love that. Love seeing people from all over the world. I have no idea what time it is there, but it's got to be later than here. So thank you for hanging out. So the next question we have is cost, and I don't know if you're going to touch on this later, so it's okay to say, hey, we're going to get to that a little bit. But cost and how are we handling cost with Express Mode?
Cost. Oh, it's the similar to ECS. It
Okay,
is no cost for the overall service,
okay,
but the you're paying for the underlying resources. And so in the case of Express Mode, you're paying for Fargate,
okay,
um, similar to ECS.
sure.
The new resource that we're introducing is the application load balancer, which you probably were paying for anyways.
Right, right.
But one thing we haven't talked about yet is that the application load balancer that we're provisioning here, um, I want you to take note of this 90C66. And
Okay.
then can I show you something else? Can we switch
No.
over
Yes, yes, we love it.
while
Yeah,
I answer this question
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
to
let's go over
the
to it.
um,
Yeah.
to the
Let me
command
know when
line?
you're there. Okay. So if I understood, I'm bringing this in for you now. If I understood, so price wise, there's really no cost difference. What you brought to the table here is a management system to kind of abstract away some of this, but the underlying resources stay the same.
Yes.
So okay, all righty.
All right,
Okay,
so we've
so
got command line experience here. Same thing we
okay,
just saw basically in the console. So we've got
good. Okay.
two IAM roles, container image. I've got this little tag here that says monitor resources, which is basically to recreate that timeline view that we just saw in the console. So you can get that similar experience in the
Oh,
CLI.
slick. Okay. All righty.
Oh
Expired token, that's the worst. Yeah. So
no!
so yeah, so while Jennifer fixes that, I'll explain. We use obviously rotating credentials here. We definitely eat our own dog food. Is that the right term? Yeah,
Yes,
the dog food. Yeah. And so we all use it. We were actually just talking before the show started is making sure that our credentials don't expire. And Jennifer's did.
and of course it did.
Judging her a little bit, but it's okay. So but yeah, so she's re-upping her credentials as we go. Just let me know when you want to bring it back in.
Yep.
While you're doing that, we had another question come in,
Yeah.
and it was also from Mohammed. These are great questions, Mohammed. Thank you. Is can this be used with managed instances?
Yeah, that's also a great question. So our default compute is going to be Fargate, but
Okay.
one of the most important tenets of Express Mode is that we wanted to make sure that you have full control over your resources. And so this is more about like uh, everything that you have in that account, that full list of everything that you saw provisioned. You
Yeah.
have control to go and make changes to those things.
Interesting. So you could go add a managed capacity or a capacity provider of a managed instance,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
swap.
So you
Okay.
can
Very
go
cool.
add a capacity provider to the cluster. You can go to the
Well,
task definition and make that
yeah.
change and say, like, I require the compatibility of managed instances. Um, you do for managed instances, one thing to be aware of, there's like a difference with like the public IPs. So
Mm.
for Express Mode, we are defaulting to like public.
Okay.
It's because we're using like the default VPC.
Yeah.
We're doing assigned public IP. So like if you don't have like a NAT gateway, like we're just going to go through the internet gateway.
Okay.
Um, and so you will want to make sure that like you convert your, but we do also support private subnets. So you want to like move your Express gateway if it's not already over to a private subnet with a NAT gateway, and then move over to manage instances. And that is totally works and supported
Okay.
and is a great option if managed instances is right for your workload.
So I'm really starting to get the name Express Mode now. So if I look at this, I'm going to say it in how I think the elevator pitch. This is a cookie cutter. Nah, it's not the right term. Let's use templating or scaffolding. There we go. Got it. So this is a scaffold. Boom. I bring this up, and then I make the changes that I want to make to it and stuff. Now, there's no state. So, it's not something, this isn't something like we want to deploy the same thing to 50 different regions, right? That's not what this is for. But and so many times, and I have to do this also, it's like, I need to get a website up, or I need this running, or I want to run, let's say, I don't know, anything on there. How do I get that up fast? Well, I can do it express mode, and I can. That's really slick.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's part of
okay.
why, like, it's not really that it's limited to like a new user. Like, I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of like advanced users are going to be very interested in it as
Oh
well,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like if you do have a little POC that you like, you don't really want to spend a lot of time piecing all those things together. Like, this is a great option to just like, you don't have to think about all these things anymore.
Right.
Just piece them all together with something that's pretty standard.
So
Keep going.
the same question I had, and I don't see your screen up yet again, so I won't. Let me know
I
when you
know
want to
I'm
share
working
that
on
out
it.
again. No, that's all right. That's all right. All right, because I keep distracting you with the hey Jennifer, Jennifer. But the other question we have, and
Uh-huh.
this is Mohammed, but this is the same question I had: is okay, if I wanted to take advantage of this, can I apply infrastructure as code with Express mode? Is there
Yes.
cloud
Yeah, great
formation?
question.
Oh, look at you. Yeah, it is a great question. Mohammed, I'm impressed that first of all you were up to speed on the managed instances. I appreciate you. So
Great. So yes, there is CloudFormation, there's Terraform, there's CDK. We have all of these options.
okay.
Um, some things to be like aware of there. So like it is managing state,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But we also allow you to go and like
Right,
change
right.
state of things underneath, which is kind of a weird thing
And so
to
is
be.
this a
And not
new
all of the properties are like shown in the
okay.
CloudFormation, right? Because
Yeah.
or Terraform or whatever you're using. So it is a new resource because
Okay,
it's a new
that was my
API,
question. Okay. And it's not a
right?
transform. You're not like serverless transforms. It is a resource that generates those,
Right.
and then you're done. Right. Okay, got it. And then it's a state. I mean, that's your only state, and you'll have a lot of drift from that if you go up and change stuff. So it's
Yeah.
definitely a different usage than deploying everywhere. It is that express, get it out there kind of idea.
But what you can do is like if you have like a change that you want to make to like the ALB or something
Yeah.
or a target group, you can import that resource. And so you can find like what the RN of that resource is from describing the
Okay.
service or the
Yeah.
service
Yeah.
revision, and import that into your cloud formation, and then set that parameter of whatever you want to do. Um, we are working to
That's
like
beautiful.
make
Okay.
this even like more extensible in the future. But keep stay tuned.
Yeah, this would have been gold a year ago because I really did, all kidding aside, I struggled getting my network in the right place and getting my, ALB or NLB. I don't know. I don't do the levels. I'm a serverless guy. I don't need that, So rewrapping my head around that was really interesting. So this would have just been gold back then.
Yeah, totally. Um, yeah, you can pass in some things though, like for instance,
Okay.
if you have a cluster or VPC or security groups that you've already created in your cloud formation, you can reference those and bring them in. Same with like Terraform or CDK.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
All
there's a
right.
couple things you
So
can do there. Okay, I'm still working
yeah,
on. Sorry.
you're good. You're
Actually,
good.
you know what we should do? We should go
What's
back
that?
to, and I've been kicked out of my console again. We should go back to console
Okay.
while I figure that out. And
All right. No
I
worries. And I know, Mohammed, you asked the question, can it be Express mode CLI? Yeah, that's what Jennifer was working on. She's having problems with her CLI itself. It's a user error more than anything, but so
thanks,
we're gonna
Eric.
pull. Yeah, no, I just want to be real. I don't want him thinking AWS broke. That was easier.
It's not.
No,
It is. It's
yeah,
me.
yeah. So all right,
It's
I'm
all
gonna
me.
bring this back on stage. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I do want to go back and show. So one of the things that we are doing is this load balancer is going to be shared. One of the things we're doing is sharing the load balancer across up to 25 Express services. So this is one of the benefits of not just having like
Yes.
a blanket cloud formation, is that like we're orchestrating this from within ECS. Is that we have the ability to add things like kind of an economy of scale to like to benefit customers. And this is why I was
That's
trying to get this into like the pricing
beautiful.
question
Yeah.
earlier
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
So,
kind of
so
had a thing. Yeah,
let me explain that another way is so a couple things you're doing. First of all, so when you put a bunch of different things behind one ALB, that's doable and people know it's doable, but it's not always the easy part because you have to do some routing, right? You have to get that routing. So am I routing based
exactly.
on the token? Am I be, custom URLs, make that even more complex. So you're handling the routing magic already with the Express,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
And now rather than me, if I have 4 domains, if I do it, that would usually mean 4 ALBs running versus now I've just got one ALB doing that magic routing underneath.
you got it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna
So we're
post. You gave me a.
using,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I gave you the
Blog
cloud
post. Yeah.
formation
The
uh
docs. Sorry.
docs just
Yeah.
so you have that. So I wanted to go back and show some of the options while I spin up the second container, and this will show like
Yeah.
how the two express services are using the same ALB.
Okay.
So a bunch of options you have, greatly reduced from the number of options you would normally have across all of these different services. But
Which
some
is
of
a
the cool
good thing.
things, yeah,
Yeah.
eh, is that sometimes we're giving you one option, but we're actually like orchestrating that one thing across many different services. Like the container port, for example, where we're setting that up, in the task definition, in the security groups, in the ALB, in the target group. Like it's propagating to many different API calls, but you're just telling it to us once.
Okay.
So it's like we're really trying to reduce cognitive load in terms of like what you have to think about. You can set the name. You don't have to set the name if you.
Right.
I I've always found it annoying that in AWS we make you name every single resource.
Yeah. 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 But we auto generate that. It comes in helpful. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll pull it from your image name and just like we'll name it for you. But if you need to name things, like you give us a name and we'll use that.
All right.
Health check. This is like the ALB health check
Yep.
from the target group.
So
Add environment
if I,
variables, add
I'm going to
secrets.
interrupt you here. So if I've
Yeah,
got that on a different port, I'm sorry, I could do it. All right.
yeah.
So hang on a
Do
sec.
like 880 if you want
Yeah,
to.
is that okay? Gotcha. So that's but the health check and the normal call will be on the same port. That's the overall port for the container, right? Or is that, yeah, and then the health check is the endpoint.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
So
All
if you
right.
wanted to write like health instead,
Got it. Got it.
yeah,
Okay. Gotcha. All
yeah.
righty. So we got a couple more questions coming in, but I'll jump to those in a minute. So we're good at the moment.
You can do
Okay.
secrets or something instead. If you
Okay.
wanted to
Does that
pull from
use
ASM,
it does use secrets manager under the hood.
yeah,
Beautiful. Parameter store or secrets manager, depending. That's good. Okay.
yep.
That's another,
Um,
for those of you who don't know, Jennifer knows this, so I don't need to tell her that. But that's another financial move, right? It's less expensive to grab something from Parameter Store than it is to grab something from Secrets Manager. So clever.
but secrets manager will rotate for you
Rotate for
if
you.
you're
Exactly.
using
Yeah. So
databases and stuff. So
there's a reason we charge for it. There's definite benefits to it, but yeah. But if you're just doing a simple, doesn't need to be secret kind of thing, Parameter Store makes total sense.
totally.
Yeah.
Task role, if you are calling out to like a database or other service that you need like IAM access for.
Okay.
Um, if you want to change the CPU, if you want to go down to like 0.25, zero point 0.5 or something like that. If you want to change the scaling, we can choose from request count from the target group or memory or CPU.
No, so this is setting up the auto scaling.
Yeah.
Oh man, this may be how I do all of them from now on. Okay. See what you used to see me try to do. I actually explain metric math sometimes, and sometimes I'm like, I'm not even sure what I'm saying here, but I know it works. No, the metric math is always fun. So this does the metric math for you. This is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Min-text and masks. So this is the same as like desired count normally
Okay.
is
Sure.
the
Sure.
minimum.
Okay.
And then you can max out lower or higher, whatever you think is right for your service. We use the
Oh,
default
good.
VPC,
Okay. Yeah.
but like if you have a VPC, you should use it. Like
Yeah.
you can pick whatever one you want, choose the subnets, choose the security groups. They'll all be populated there based on like how you filter that down. We also auto-generate like a log group and a log stream. If you have a specific naming convention that you use within your company, go for it. Tags, make sure you do those on create. We have really strict rules on, we tag on create, not on
Sure.
update.
Okay. Got it. And
So
why
make
is
sure you
that?
do that. It has to do with um, just making sure that you can't just update things after the fact. It's just
Okay. Do we do
security.
tag based security on ECS?
It's yeah, it has
Okay.
to do with kind of like regulations and
I'm
things
hitting
that,
you with
well,
random
yeah.
questions. Sorry.
Sorry.
What is my favorite color? That's so
I'm gonna
unfair.
guess rainbow.
No, blue. It's absolutely blue, but whatever.
All right.
Okay.
I think this is
Yeah.
good. We got a good little service set up here.
Oh yeah, this is
Let's
fantastic.
do this.
I do like that you can add your own networking and security group because that's just a good practice,
Oh,
right?
sorry.
A lot of times because I see this as a lot of proof of concept stuff, and jumping everything in default is kind of like So this gives you some choices.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, now I have to. Now I do have to choose
No,
some
you do.
subnets.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Now that you set it up, yeah.
I gave it too much information, and now it's not going to choose my same one. Hopefully, it will.
All right. So while this is building, we had a couple questions come in. You
Cool.
ready?
Yeah.
Hopefully these are less interrogative than mine are. Interrogative. I don't know. All right. So the first one, Mohammed again said, "How do you handle observability with Express mode?
That's a great
And
question.
will there be rollback?" Well, she approves your question, so that's always good. So I will there be rollback with Express mode. It is a good question.
Those are great questions. Okay, let's look at
It's like he's
observability.
setting you up. Is Mohammed on your team?
I know,
You like
right?
set me up? Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
so we
look
got
at
some default
it.
observability that just kind of shows up for you. We've got, most ECS services are going to get this CPU in memory. If you turn on the CloudWatch enhanced observability,
Mhm.
uh, you're going to get a lot more metrics, and those usually show up in the console. You can turn down account or cluster level. Um, One thing that's unique about the express mode is we're going to bring in the load balancer metrics because we know what load balancer and target group you're using.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
so we can bring in target response time and requests and 4xx, 5xx, so that you have a little bit more data about like what's actually going on in your application.
Okay. So we're bringing a lot of stuff that you need, hopefully everything you need into the dashboard. And then, of
Cool.
course, at the task level, however you do your logging doesn't change. You can still
Yeah,
run your log. Okay. Got it.
logging
Okay.
still there. From a deployment perspective, you've got events that are showing up to show like, I started one task. If that scales, it'll show additional tasks that have spun up. If you need to roll back, you can go into your deployments as they are being deployed and actually hit this button to manually roll back. There's also an API in the ECS
Okay.
API set that allows you to do that. But that's like during an active deployment is when
Sure.
you would be able to roll back.
Okay. Very cool. So we had another question come in. If you're good for that,
Yeah,
this one's from Jason Cubic
yeah,
3097 says, "Does it support ECS Service Connect?"
yeah. So Service Connect, the pattern that we chose for this first Express service that we wanted to tackle was the most common pattern that we see in ECS today, which is, we looked at like different ways you can launch tasks and containers in ECS. You can launch like just individual tasks or in a service. Most people choose a service. We looked
Sure.
at like what kind of networking, like Service Connect, VPC Lattice, ALB, API Gateway. Most people choose ALB.
Hmm.
And so like that was kind of the first pattern. And then we went from there to look at like task definition settings and things like that. So this is kind of the pattern that we chose initially. All that to say, like, that doesn't stop you, right? From
Right.
connecting services together. Like if you wanted to use like an ALB with Express mode as your ingress point and then create some additional services that did not use like any kind of ingress and you wanted to connect them all together with Service Connect, that totally makes sense. Um, as Service Connect itself is not, I don't think, as difficult to set up as like an ALB and like piecing together all the target groups
Right. Right.
is. And so I like, yeah, I think that probably makes sense as like a pattern that you might want to set up.
It's jumpstarts you though. This gets you up and
Yeah,
running.
this at
So
least
that's
helps you set
yeah,
up like the ingress path. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then you can get into, and I haven't done this yet, but I know that let's say you get this somewhere. So I'm going to dream a little with you here, okay? So you can I get this all out. One of the cool things you can do is have something like Hero inspect your setup and possibly create a cloud formation, a state from what you have. If you decide, you know what, I want to recreate that. So there's some interesting ideas there that make a lot more sense now that something like this exists. On that note, I do want to say, did you see, because this is kind of pertinent to what we're talking about, just released in the last several days from in pre-invent is API gateway. It used to be if you want to run containers behind API gateway with an ALB, you had to go API gateway to NLB to get private, and then go to ALB, and then you go to the container. So hop, hop. That's gone now. API gateway can directly front your ALB now if you want to take advantage of some of the things that are in API gateway as well. So you could boom get this up and then look at connecting API gateway. It might be kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
that's a
API
great
gateways,
idea.
yeah, they're doing some really cool stuff. So what other questions do we have? I know Jennifer, were you still going to do the CLI or are we throwing that up for now?
I'm throwing that up for now.
Okay, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
was going to show one more thing here,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is the host header based listener
Okay.
rules.
Okay.
Just showing that like I've got
This is what I was talking about earlier. Yeah.
some other services and another VPC here, but like yeah, they're all using the same ALB. They've all got unique certificates because they've all got these unique host names. They've
Yeah.
all also got unique security groups. So it's nice. It's all done for you.
So the split is way up close to the ALB.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, yeah, which is really cool. Rather than trying to push that further down, it's way up to where you economically handling the ALB and then splitting that out separate security groups. I'm assuming you do separate VPCs.
So each ALB is going to be dictated based on like what subnets you provide. So for the
Got it.
first
Okay,
one that
got
you
it.
do, you want to
Gotcha.
like provide all of the subnets that you can, so
Gotcha.
that if you do like a subset in
And
the
then start.
future. Um,
Okay.
so if you wanted to do something like add a custom domain, you would just go into like the listener rule and like add an additional condition here to say like it's this host header or like your custom domain,
Right. Right.
and then attach the certificate to the ALB.
Okay.
Um, and if you do that, like it's because like we're not locking down the ALB and making it this managed service. It is still like a resource in your account that you have full control over, that you have the ability to go and do that kind of extension of the things that we're setting up. Um,
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So we have another question here. Okay, so it's kind of an extension on does support ECS Service Connect. For example, to connect other services like CloudFront or VPC Lattice or RDS. Question one: lifecycle with Express mode uh, handle, sorry, it's a new one coming in here, handle resources that can be affect to their resource life cycle. I'm having a hard time deciphering this one. Sorry, Mohammed. See if Jennifer, you can help me out here. Connect to other services like CloudFront or VPC Lattice RDS. Question one, life cycle with Express mode handle resources that can be affected to their resource life cycle. So if I understand this right, can something deployed, so this application deployed, and you tell me if you have a different understanding, something deployed with Express, but it's dealing with things like, probably let's see, RDS is a good example. Can they be tied together in their life cycle? Which I'm assuming no, because there's no state, but you can definitely still tie into those. So if you were to kill this, which is a good question. What happens when I want to delete what I've
Let's
got
do
here?
it. Let's do it.
Okay. All right, let's do it. But to take that to its end here, it wouldn't delete the RDS or anything like that because it's
It
not
wouldn't.
part of that. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and Mohammed, I may have completely misunderstood what you're asking, but hopefully that helps. If not, please post clarification. That's what. Okay, nailed it. That's what he meant. What? So, all right. So we're going to delete this. All right. So it's draining. Okay. Now, while this is deleting, oops, I guess I should get rid of that here. Let me ask you this. So it's I see it's deprovisioning, doing all the cool stuff. It's getting rid of, it's deleting stuff. It won't touch anything you added because it only knows about what you deployed in that original setting, right?
Yeah. So if you,
Okay.
what we're doing here is deleting anything that is unique to this service. So we are detecting like if there are other services still using the load balancer, like if there
Got
are
it.
other
Okay.
target groups on that load balancer, we're not going to delete
Yeah.
it. If there are
Okay.
other services in that cluster, we're not going to delete it.
Okay.
um, for an example. But if you made a change to that target group's health check, if you ask us to delete the service, we're still going to delete that target group.
Got it. And that makes sense because that's still that's a configuration on the part of the service. I get that.
Yep.
But if I add another thing to this, like the RDS or something like that, it's not going to touch that.
No.
Got it.
And
Only the resources are deployed and the configurations of those resources.
yeah, you got it.
Got it. Okay. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just thinking like RDS really is kind of outside of the scope. It's something we thought about in terms of like, can we make this simpler? Not to bring
Right.
it all the way in, but like maybe we can make
Because then you are building elastic beanstalk again if you get into that,
yeah,
So yeah,
essentially.
yeah, and
But could we
that
make
service already
like
exists.
the IAM easier or something? Maybe in the future. I don't know. We'll see
Yeah.
what we can do. Um, but that would essentially be the tie-in. Is it's just the task role
Okay.
and like how you would access RDS from within your container.
Okay. All right. That makes sense to me. Well, this is super cool. I see value in this again. And you said it earlier, probably not just for the newbies, but for the folks who have been doing this for a while. How often do we throw up? I need to throw out an architecture to run something against. All right, I gotta go, and even if I've got my
Right.
templates already set, I gotta pull this in. I gotta pull rather than just boom. And I do love that there's a cloud formation for this because I'm a same guy, right? And so I would just pull that in, make my configurations, deploy it because I'm gonna do everything through CLI. But I'm not nowadays. I still have to do all my networking. I have to, so this is really slick.
Nice.
All
I'm
right.
glad you like it, Eric.
Well, it's all about making Eric happy. I'm glad that you understand that, and that makes our life and our relationship better. So, anything else you want to show?
Yes, I
Okay.
finally got
Did you get it?
the CLI working.
Nice. Good job. Let me know, and
It is
I'll.
challenging to like carry a conversation and
It is, yes. This is my world, though.
debug
This is
in the
where, yeah,
background.
yeah, debugging and yeah, this is. I was showing something the other day to a team, and it didn't work at all. And I was like, "Oh, hey, everybody, how's it?" You do it. So, all right, let me know when you want to share that. Okay.
All right,
All right, here we go.
we got it. Same thing. I
Okay.
wish we showed it earlier. So
Yep.
roll container. Fingers crossed, guys.
All right. Hey, there you go. That's a good. It's always a good sign. Oh, it does. It looks just like in the console.
Yeah. And this is in the AWS CLI. This is not like
Okay.
another
Good.
CLI that you have to go
Good.
download.
We don't need that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. All you should
Um,
need is AWS and SAM, of course. So I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah.
yes.
So
And the cool part about both this and the console is that not only do you get like the ARN of the resource and the status, so you see like
right.
active or provisioning, and the last updated, but you also get like if there is an issue, if there's like an IAM permissions issue or like whatever the last event was that we got from that particular resource, you're going to get that event or error for that particular resource piped through, so you have an
Okay.
understanding of like what's going on and why
Takes
we
you to
had
where the
some
problem
issue.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a really nice kind of experience so that you have clarity on like what's going on.
Yeah, well, no,
A lot of
I
moving
totally understand
pieces,
that.
right?
Well, and when you're deploying this much, but that's exactly it. A lot of moving pieces. Like, okay, I don't even know where to start. And especially if you are new to this, but even if you're an expert in ECS, it's like, give me something. So that's really clever. So it's doing
Yeah.
the auto scaling configurations, doing the target groups. This is slick.
Yeah. So it started the
All
task
right.
here.
Okay, good. But while
Yeah.
we're waiting on that, I'm just watching our questions coming in. Do we have any other questions? We have the expert obviously in the room, and I'm here too. But the expert in the room is Jennifer for sure. So if you have questions, let us know. We can get those answered. Even if it's something we may not know, we can get answers. So, all right. So here we do have another one coming in. Says, how do you access the app with Express mode?
Access to what?
The app with Express
Oh, yeah,
mode.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You show that. I think you had that in the console, right?
Well, let's take this one. So
Okay.
after it's
All
done,
right.
we'll just plop that in.
Okay. So yeah, right. So the ingress path is that's your domain.
That's your domain. You just put that in
Okay. All
the,
right. Now
we're
will
gonna wait
that
for the
be?
deployment to finish.
Yeah, yeah. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So here's a question: Is that has SSL automatically? Do we get a default SSL with that? Okay. Very
Yes.
cool. All righty.
Certificate is
Um,
attached.
Nice. Okay. That was always my struggle, was getting doing all that. So,
It's a lot of
all
work.
right. So we're still, yeah, well, yeah, it is. All right. So we're still doing the auto scale.
It's reached
What
steady
else?
state. We'll just,
What's that?
it's reached steady state. So it should just be another second
Okay,
here.
good. All right. Just say, okay, good. All
There
righty.
we go.
So how do you know it's steady state?
Oh, right here.
Oh, okay. All righty. Okay. Well, I wasn't seeing that. Okay. Gotcha. All right.
It's got that, and now it's complete. So we can go
Okay.
switch over to
Okay.
this. So here's my app.
There you go. Okay. Look at that.
You
It's
you
very
might
nice.
notice I've made this with AI.
Yes, yes. I was gonna say, did you design this?
You've never seen this background before.
Never, never, never. So okay, so it kicked out the ingress point, which is here. Okay, and that's
Yeah.
secure. You can't see the HTTPS here, but that's because Chrome hides it by default. Yes, my designs are all Kiro based as well. So and I love them. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Any other questions, Mohammed? You've had some great questions. Appreciate the conversation there. Jason, anybody else who has a question? Glad to throw it at Jennifer before we wrap up here. Jennifer, do you have anything else you want to show?
I might just mention that uh, that we do encourage you to change things out of band. That like if you want to go to your task definition or um, your ALB or your target group and change
Right.
some setting, like it is encouraged and like it's part of the product. So it's like if you want to add a sidecar to your task definition, for example, that's a very popular one. You should go and do that.
Okay.
Is change your login configuration, change your like whatever you need to do. And then this is the best part, I think,
Okay.
is that you can
So
make that
excited.
change and then you don't have to go like graduate or like there's not a hard cutoff where like you
Okay.
don't get to keep experiencing like the easy deployment mechanisms of express mode. Like it is so much easier to do like the scaling and
Right.
the update your image or update your environment variables with that API than it is to update like a task definition and then force a new deployment and do all of those things. So to you can make that change in your task definition, but then you can go back to using the express mode APIs. And we're
Nice.
not going to overwrite that change. Like we're going to persist that change. We're going to take a new
Got it.
version of the task definition, and if we need to make any additional changes, and just change the things that we need to. So it's a really flexible way so that you have the power to access all of like the things that we have in ECS and all of these other services as well, all the features that we've launched over the last 10, 11 years.
Right.
Um, but you still have like this new simplicity that we've launched as well. So
So it's very much a starting line, not a finish line.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good way to
yeah.
put it.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like to do things like that. Coin phrases, you know. I got to see that don't work, but we'll see how that goes. So, all right. So now, if you're going to reInvent, this is the shameless plug time. What are you speaking on at reInvent?
Yeah. I think it's CNS 341 is code to
Okay.
cloud.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about Express Mode as well as we have GoDaddy on stage with us to talk
Ah,
about
nice. Okay.
a developer platform that they've built. It is very cool.
Little
They
startup.
obviously did
Yeah.
not have Express Mode or
Yeah.
managed instances or blue-green deployments or all the cool things we've launched in like the last couple months with ECS, but they've done some really cool things with ECS and are planning on adopting a lot of those things. And it'll be a good talk. I think it'll be.
Sweet. If you want to know more about blue green deployments, go to YouTube and search ECS blue green deployments, and you get to see me argue with myself in a video. It's pretty fun. So yeah, I'm blue and green and the lambda function in the middle. So it's some pretty good acting. There's no Oscars in my future, but it's some pretty good acting, I think. So uh, well, I appreciate your time. If you're not familiar, pre-reinvent for us is just, I mean, it's our tax season. If you think about it, it's just nuts. So to take time and join me on this and explain that, we really appreciate it, Jennifer. And for those of you who are, I mean, it's busy for everybody who joined us and are watching later. We really appreciate you. Hit us with your questions. As always, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at EDJ Geek or LinkedIn. Just look at Bear Johnson AWS, and I can get into Jennifer as well. With that, we're gonna say goodbye. Jennifer, anything else you want to throw out before we go?
I think it's all good. Thank you so much,
All
Eric. I
righty.
appreciate it.
Of course. With that, we'll see y'all later. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. Now this is where